Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and looking at some gradual clearing today. A few showers off to the east early this morning, but heading into a little bit drier weather for the end of the week. Warmer sunshine on Friday. Rain chances do return this weekend. Not a washout, but we will have some showers and then a little more rain as we head into the middle part of next week. So again, we do have some cloud cover, a couple of sprinkles or light rain showers off to the east today. And as we head through the afternoon, again, those skies will continue to clear out. We are dealing with some slightly cooler air, but that cooler air will be modifying. And as we approach this upcoming weekend, temperatures will be warming up a little bit more. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home and warming up in Chicago, 75 degrees on Saturday. That'll be some of the warmer weather that we experience as we get closer to the weekend. Saturday again, though, the showers will return, maybe some 1/4 to 1/3 inch total amounts from Panhandle to Panhandle. And on Thursday today, our temperatures again will be a little on the cooler side into the 50s and 60s. Not quite as much rain off to the east on Saturday. Of course, the temperatures today will be cooler, as I mentioned. Winchester at 66, Moorfield at 67, Davis at 54. And again, the shower chances really diminishing for the day Thursday, but returning a little more on Saturday. Pretty light amounts overall. Sutton, 63 on Thursday, Ripley, 65. Parkersburg at 63 degrees, and Franklin at 65. Again, some showers early. Things will be drying out, though, as we head into our Thursday afternoon and Friday. Madison, 65. Logan, 64. Here's our extended forecast. Overall, a drier end of the week. Warmer on Friday. Warmer on Saturday and Sunday. But again, we will have some spotty showers as well.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Salango Law.
MetroNews Talkline, lots to get to today. The latest on the primary election spending. We'll talk to Jason Huffman with Americans for Prosperity, and friend of the show, Howard Monroe, will weigh in. This is Talkline, and we are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome into the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson in Morgantown. TJ Meadows is in Charleston. Gang's all here. Ethan Collins handles the audio side of things as well as our phones. 800-765-TALK is the phone number. 800-765-8255. Text the show, 304-TALK-304. We appreciate you listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. Or appreciate you watching in on the Metro News TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Jake Link is our video producer. He makes us look good for the cameras. Coming up later this morning, going to talk to Jim Douglas. He is a candidate for the Intermediate Court of Appeals. He'll join us bottom of the hour. Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, second hour, and Steve Wendelin, running for United States Congress, Democrat nomination for United States Congress. All of that, say good morning. TJ Meadows is in Charleston. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning. What are you running for? Are you running for anything?
I don't run anywhere, anytime, ever for anything, buddy.
Not even dog catcher?
No, I don't. Okay. Listen, I gave up running for anything. When I got done playing ball, that was I'm done running. It wasn't fun then. I'm not running for office. I'm not running for breakfast, maybe breakfast. I'm not running for fun. as you can tell by this, chiseled physique. Not running, TJ. Not.
Well, your
gonna
knees
do it.
will thank you. Your knees will thank you.
No, my knees scream at me every day for for playing ball all those years. But anyway, that's a whole other story. I choose not to run, TJ. I
Good for you.
choose not to run. Howard Monroe, he chooses not to run as well, at least as far as we know. You can hear Howard each weekday morning prior to this program on WVLY, Watchdog Radio Network. He joins us from the Northern Panhandle. Are you running for anything, Howard?
I'm like you. I'm running for breakfast as soon as we're done from this, but and I'll actually probably just run right from breakfast to lunch, But that's what I'm running for.
What do you make of this primary season, Howard? All of the money that's coming in, I think we're pushing. What was the number today, TJ? Almost $5 million now.
We are just shy of $5 million from just 7 packs.
I mean, what do you make? Have you seen anything like this, Howard? You've covered these races.
No. This is, as far as I know, completely unprecedented, both the amount of money that is being put into it and the motivation behind the money, which is the governor of a sitting supermajority party putting so much effort into unseating members of his own party in the Senate. I've never seen anything like it, and I've seen a lot. I've been around a lot, and this is amazing to me.
Are we changed forever, Howard? Is this the way it's going to be from here on out now that there's precedent?
We'll never go back to an inexpensive elections. This may be the peak. Honestly, this is an unusual situation. You know what? I guess, TJ, maybe the answer we'll have a better answer come Wednesday morning when we see how the money worked out. And we spent a lot of time on my show this morning trying to talk about that. TJ, you wrote a commentary a couple of weeks ago. I think we may have talked about it on my show. I'm not sure. Suggesting that in some ways this might be a referendum on Morrissey. Because, and I was kind of buying into that, but the more I think about it, I think that there's value in that, considering that he only had about a third of the vote when he was elected. It's not like he had a huge landslide, but I look at $4.6 million and rising. I guess one of the other things we'll learn is how much does money make a difference? How big a difference does money make? And if the answer is a lot, maybe this will be the beginning of a continuing trend. I hope not. I hope somewhere along the way, TJ, you wrote a bit about this recently. Somewhere along the way, we have to get some kind of control over this. I know there are free speech arguments, but this is just crazy. It's just crazy. And they're primarily not just out-of-state folks, but only a handful of out-of-state folks who are financing these things. So, but I'll be really, really curious to see what happens on Tuesday.
Howard Monroe is joining us, WVLY Radio, Watchdog Radio Network up in the Northern Panhandle. The gamble here, I think, Howard, and we've talked about this on the show, I'm sure you've talked about it as well, for Governor Morrissey, if the gamble pays off, then he is able to reconstruct the legislature much more friendlier to his agenda, and he may be able to get some things done. If the gamble doesn't pay off, I mean, he might as well stay home for the next 2 years. He'll never be able to get any of his agenda through. This is a big gamble on his part.
If his gamble does not work, if he does not manage to remake the Senate in his own image, it's going to be a long, arduous session, the next session, because he will now have in there a number of people that he didn't just disagree with, but actively disagreed with and tried to get out of office. And I don't care how forgiving you might be, I don't think you forgive that much. So the governor better, he is hoping for, obviously. And I think he said just yesterday, he almost doubled down again, said, I'm going to keep on fighting this fight all the way up to Election Day. He better hope that his gamble is right, because if not, you're right, Dave, he won't get anything passed that has any disagreement at all in this next session. And really for the next 2 years, you're right.
You look at some of these House. Go ahead, Howard.
No, I was just saying, and this actually, how this comes out may have some bearing on how the next gubernatorial campaign comes out as well. I can't help but think that, and we've all talked about his name. I can't help but think Larry Pack is sitting there waiting on election night saying, let's see what happens here. Let's see what Morrissey's strength is. Not just the individual races that we're having right now, not just how that will impact votes in the Senate come the next session, but even the next gubernatorial election could in some ways depend on how this election comes out. At least that's the way I look at it.
Well, I think it's definitely a Morrissey flex, right? He's illustrating the amount of money that he is able to raise and bring to the table. He may be one of the best fundraisers that has ever ran in West Virginia, given the organization that he has been able to put together. I mean, it is an organization when you look at it on paper. It is a well-oiled, finely tuned machine. So I think he's definitely illustrating that flex, not only against potential legislative candidates who may be in the mix next go around, certain senators, but could he be sending a message to gubernatorial hopefuls like Larry Pack, like Jim Justice? Here's the difference, though, Howard, I think. A guy like Larry Pack, he can fundraise like Morrissey can. He's got the connections both in and outside West Virginia. So I wouldn't be surprised. I just personally, I don't think a guy like Pack is going to be that intimidated against what Morrissey can do, because a guy like Pack, frankly, can do that and probably more.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that, but I do think that he's going to want to see how successful Morrissey's campaign is in turning the Senate around, in getting his candidates elected. There had been a lot of talk about Jim Justice maybe coming.
Uh-oh, the Zoom machine froze. The Zoom machine froze. There's a flex. Hey, Howard, we got you back? Hey, you froze up there a minute. We got you back?
I'm here. Are you there?
You were saying you froze up at about Jim Justice coming back.
Yeah, I don't know that he is. I know there's been a lot of talk about that, but I'm just sort of thinking to myself, he's got a lot of other issues on his plate right now. And
that's true.
I don't know, depending on how this battle with Omni works out on the Greenbrier, he may have his hands full without worrying about a gubernatorial campaign. Just kind of talking off the top of my head here.
Howard Monroe joining us, Watchdog Radio Network. You can hear Howard up in Wheeling prior to this program, weekday mornings. Hey, Howard, one of the contested Senate races where a lot of the PAC money has been poured into has been up in the 1st District. Laura Wacom Chapman running for re-election. Businessman Joe Eddy also challenging. Any feeling up there in the 1st District about that race heading into the primary?
Well, Laura Wacom Chapman has certainly been pouring a lot of money into major media. And by the way, we thank her for that at our radio station. But she's pouring a lot of money into it. She's been extremely visible. Joe Eddy has been less so. I will be honest with you. In fact, Joe Eddy has been less visible than I expected him to be. We remember that even before there was really announcements made, Governor Morrissey had already said he was supporting Laura Wacom Chapman way back in the early days. So he's been sort of working with her, not working with her, but for her. It is clearly the big race in our area. We were just discussing it with our TV friends, Channel 7, right before this segment. It's going to be the big race everybody's watching for, and the big race I think everybody wants to go cast a vote for and see how that comes out. Many others here, but that's going to be the big one, and it's a big one for the state too.
$270,000, Howard, spent on that district race by the 7 PACs that we're tracking here at Metro News, that as of close of business yesterday. With that point, why do you think Eddy has not been as visible? That is the question, I believe, if he hasn't been out there.
I don't have an answer to that. I will be honest. I expected a much more aggressive campaign from him. And maybe the campaign is going on in ways that I'm not seeing. And maybe he's running the campaign not so much in Ohio County, but in the other counties where I don't see it as much. But it's a question that I have had. I expected Joe Eddy to come out with guns blazing, with spending a lot of money and doing a lot of media. And really being a major player. I haven't seen that happen. Now, again, maybe it's happening and I'm not seeing it. I will acknowledge that as a possibility. But it has surprised me that he has not been as aggressive as I thought he would be.
He's Howard Monroe, WVLY Radio, Watchdog Radio Network. You can hear him each weekday right before this program up in the Wheeling area. Howard, we'll check in next week when the dust starts to settle and see what we can figure out.
We'll all see what happens on Tuesday night, and we'll talk about it Wednesday morning.
There you go. Howard Monroe. Appreciate it, Howard. Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Coming up, we'll check in with Jared Halpern, Fox News Radio. Is there a deal on the table? One that the president supports with Iran. We'll check in with Jared, find out what's happening, get the latest from D.C. when we come back. This is Talkline on Metro News from the Encova Insurance Studios.
The rule of law protects our communities. Integrity protects our values. Conservative Justice Gerald Titus spent his career fighting for both. As a prosecutor, Titus took on criminals and traffickers. Now, as a justice, he applies the law as written, fairly and independently. Endorsed by law enforcement, he stands with those who protect and serve. Because when courts uphold the law, criminals are held accountable and communities are safer. For Justice Titus, it's personal.
I'm Justice Gerald Titus. I spent my career upholding the rule of law. I was born here, raised here, and now my wife and I are raising our family in West Virginia. We need judges who are fair and apply the law as written and protect the rights of all our citizens.
Vote to keep conservative Justice Gerald Titus on the West Virginia Supreme Court. Vote early or on May 12th. Paid for by Titus for Supreme Court.
Some relationships just work better with trust, reliability, and great communication. That's why more West Virginians are choosing CityNet Gig Fiber. Fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local teams monitoring the network around the clock. Plus, for a limited time, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
5, 3. For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304, that is the text line, 800-765-TALK, the phone number. A spokesman for the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirming that Tehran is reviewing a U.S. proposal to end hostilities. The U.S. proposed memo to Iran would establish a framework for future talks about the country's nuclear program, a source familiar with negotiations said. Let's go to our source, Jared Halpern, Fox News Radio. Jared, good morning. So what do we know about the memo? What does this framework entail?
We don't know, and the White House has not said that they're going to confirm anything, that they're not going to negotiate to the press. Certainly we've seen some reporting that says that it would reopen the Strait of Hormuz, it would end the naval blockade, kind of end the economic back and forth, the economic war that is underway, and then, to your point, put off some of these broader nuclear negotiations. That would certainly, I think, come as a surprise to a lot of folks who have supported this conflict. As President Trump has said, Iran's ability to produce a nuclear weapon has to be eliminated. And even yesterday, President Trump said that Iran had agreed to not continue its nuclear program. We've not heard that from Iran, so we are still kind of in a wait-and-see mode. It's also notable that yesterday the president was kind of asked what his timeline was, and he said there was no timeline, which again was kind of a mixed message because that followed his threat of resuming the bombing in a more intense manner than previous in that social media post the other day.
When he says no timeline, I just want to be clear, is that a timeline for Iran to respond, or is that a timeline to implement the actual merits of the deal? Is there any clarification on that?
There is not.
Jared Halpern joining us, Fox News Radio. Jared, are there any, I mean, we know the non-negotiables nuclear program has to end, but are there any non-negotiables that have to be in this deal, such as no tolls in the Strait of Hormuz, anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I think that the objectives have shifted a little bit. You're right. There has to be a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. That seems to be what this memo is related to, that if the United States ends the blockade on Iranian ports, which would allow Iran to then sell oil again, get that oil moving, bring in all that revenue, that the Strait of Hormuz would open up, and that presumably would mean that it would be back to how it was before the war. No tolls, no firing at ships, commercial ships, obviously, no threat of mines. So reopening the strait certainly seems to be key to what the Trump administration is trying to achieve on top of the nuclear aspect. But, you know, up until the president announced that there was a pause on reopening the strait, the Pentagon and the State Department and other officials here had kind of indicated that they were two separate operations. You had the Operation Epic Fury, which was over, which was intended to eliminate the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat. And then you had the separate Project Freedom, which was intended to ensure that the Strait of Hormuz reopened and allowed the free flow of commercial vessels. Now they seem to be intertwined once again.
As all of this is unfolding, Jared, Israel strikes Lebanon yet again, I think the first since their ceasefire. How does that play a role with the U.S.-Iran deal?
It'll depend, I guess, how Iran views it. Israel has indicated that they don't see this as a violation of the ceasefire because the ceasefire still allowed for Israel to respond to what they said were imminent threats, and in this case, they said a terror leader. But again, I think that's going to depend largely on how Iran responds to it, how Hezbollah responds, how Lebanon responds, whether or not that ceasefire remains in place. Iran has certainly tied the Lebanon ceasefire to the ceasefire with the U.S. The U.S. has said they are not connected. So again, a lot of it's mixed messaging, and a lot of it, I think, depends on the response from Iran as these negotiations continue.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern from the White House. Jared, we always appreciate the updates. Thank you very much.
Sure thing.
Coming up after the news, we're going to talk to candidate for the Intermediate Court of Appeals. Jim Douglas is going to join us. Top of the hour, we'll speak to Jason Huffman with Americans for Prosperity. We'll get his take on the, I was going to say craziness. We'll get his take on heading into the primary election season. Look, it's crazy. It's
madness, silliness.
And I say that because Howard Monroe, who we just talked to, 10 minutes ago, has been covering these elections for, 30 years? I don't want to date Howard. 30 years?
Yeah.
Give or take? Never seen anything like this. It's craziness. It's
my
craziness.
prediction, you don't get the genie back in the bottle. It just gets worse. So this is the new normal, unfortunately.
What if it doesn't work, though?
Oh, then you didn't spend enough money.
More?
You didn't spend enough money. That just tells you need to spend more money.
We'll talk to Jason Huffman coming up about 30 minutes from now. Jim Douglas, candidate for Intermediate Court of Appeals, will join us in 3 minutes. You will get a news update. Might want to get an extra cup of coffee as well. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You can always text us, 304-TALK, 304. This is Talkline on Metro News. Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and looking at some gradual clearing today. A few showers off to the east early this morning, but heading into a little bit drier weather for the end of the week. Warmer sunshine on Friday. Rain chances do return this weekend. Not a washout, but we will have some showers and then a little more rain as we head into the middle part of next week. So again, we do have some cloud cover, a couple of sprinkles or light rain showers off to the east today. And as we head through the afternoon, again, those skies will continue to clear out. We are dealing with some slightly cooler air, but that cooler air will be modifying. And as we approach this upcoming weekend, temperatures will be warming up a little bit more. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home and warming up in Chicago, 75 degrees on Saturday. That'll be some of the warmer weather that we experience as we get closer to the weekend. Saturday again, though, the showers will return, maybe some 1/4 to 1/3 inch total amounts from Panhandle to Panhandle. And on Thursday today, our temperatures again will be a little on the cooler side into the 50s and 60s. Not quite as much rain off to the east on Saturday. Of course, the temperatures today will be cooler, as I mentioned. Winchester at 66, Moorfield at 67, Davis at 54. And again, the shower chances really diminishing for the day Thursday, but returning a little more on Saturday. Pretty light amounts overall. Sutton, 63 on Thursday, Ripley, 65. Parkersburg at 63 degrees, and Franklin at 65. Again, some showers early. Things will be drying out, though, as we head into our Thursday afternoon and Friday. Madison, 65. Logan, 64. Here's our extended forecast. Overall, a drier end of the week. Warmer on Friday. Warmer on Saturday and Sunday. But again, we will have some spotty showers as well.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Salango Law.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, go down there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me
a
too.
great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Today's
Text line is 304-TALK-304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Governor Morrisey was asked about his endorsements of certain candidates in Senate and House races yesterday. I'll bring you a couple of those comments coming up in the next segment. 800-765-TALK and 304-TALK-304. Primary election is on Monday. Is on Tuesday. It is Tuesday, May 12th. Early voting continues through Saturday. This, of course, is the election for judicial races, including for the State Intermediate Court of Appeals. Jim Douglas is a veteran family law judge seeking a seat on West Virginia's Intermediate Court of Appeals. He joins us from the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston. Jim, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for TJ here to guide me through the labyrinthine studios.
Hard to find, huh? We're kind of at the end, straight back, hang a right.
Well, after two passwords. Okay.
Well, Jim, you have been in law and in particularly practicing family law for the better part of 5 decades. So what interested you in running for Intermediate Court of Appeals?
The lack of experience on the Intermediate Court of Appeals. The appointees at that time initially, and even after the last election, none of the three, although they're very good gentlemen, none of the three have any experience either as a practitioner in the field of family law or as a judge in family law. I have 10 years come January of being a family court judge in Kanawha County, and of course I'm originally from Braxton County. And then I had 39 and a half years as a divorce lawyer. So I think I have some grasp of what happens in family court. And the sad part about that's what the contact that most West Virginians will have with the Intermediate Court of Appeals in their lifetime will be in family court issues, and that consequently means with the ICA. So I'm going to bring my experience on it, and I think judges are meant, as C.C. Pugh said, to be the guardians of children, and that I don't think that children and families should have to undergo judges learning on the job on the field of, or in the field of family law. They should have that preparation already in place. And it also, to me, the predictability function of what's called stare decisis, a bunch of fancy lawyer words for saying the matters decided. Precedent. I don't think precedent's being followed, even up to the present time. And so that hurts the predictability function and how you try to advise lawyers and how the judges have to rule about families and the kids in family law issues. In other words, you have to be assured that with a given set of facts in a certain situation, the ruling will be the same on Sunday as it will be the succeeding Sunday in a cases before the ICA.
But in terms of the ICA, I mean, it's not exclusively a family court. You don't you need a well-rounded judicial panel? I mean, not just a family law expert? I mean, that's not a constitutional requirement for the court, right?
Well, the ICA has set up, it's about the caseload as it's worked out. The caseload is about 26% family, it's about 29% workers' comp. It's exclusive workers' comp jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. I don't think either one of the three sitting there now have worker comp experience either. But it's also the remaining 34%, and with another 10% override, consists of everything else. I've done everything else too. I've done boundary disputes. I've done adverse possession. I've done will contests. I've done slip and fall. I've done civil juries. I've also had a term in 1984 as part-time prosecutor in Braxton County. I've done grand juries. Of course, there's contrary to what's being said out there, the ICA has no criminal law jurisdiction, zero. They also have administrative matters like unemployment and things like that, which I've done that too as well. So, yes, more rounded, but I still think that if anybody has a contact, you take 10 people off the streets in West Virginia, I'd say 7 out of those 10, if they have a contact with the Intermediate Court of Appeals, it's going to be a family court issue. I've often said if you went into a group and you asked people to hold up their hands that had a family, let's say a group of 100, if you ask them to hold up their hands, anybody in their family or close friends had a felony, even though if they would raise their hands, that wouldn't be that many. But if you ask them to raise, that same group to raise their hands of people that had a divorce, child custody, alimony issue, paternity issue, allocation of custody, relocation to another state issue, I would venture to say 7 out of 10 or 70% or 70 of 100 would raise their hands. And that's a reality. That's society. And there's nothing more important than kids and families, in my opinion. And for that predictability function, that precedent to be served, that serves the perception of justice, I think, in the eyes of the public. I think it was J.B. Morton that said, or wrote the article that said that justice must be seen not only to be done, but it must be seen to be believed. And in this case, if you have qualified people with a lot of experience in the field of family law, or generally, I mean, I wasn't appointed. The people that were appointed are on there now, except for Judge White. He was elected in 24. But the ones, the ones that or the one that I'm running against, they were appointed. They were political appointment by justice. Okay, I think
because the court was new.
The court was new, and that's how it was done. But now the people have an opportunity to elect one, not to accept one that's been appointed for them. And that's what I want to bring to it. And I want to restore that sense of predictability, that sense of justice, and that sense of knowledge in an area that I have experience in, as well as the other civil areas. I'm not sure that's the case now.
Jim Douglas is joining us. He's a veteran family law judge running for Intermediate Court of Appeals. When you are ruling on family matters, custody hearings, foster care hearings, whatever the case may be, how does your approach change, or does your approach change with those cases versus ruling on interpreting the law? Does your approach change at all?
Well, I think it becomes more complex and more involved. I have to tell people that this is what the most recent, I'm talking about litigants and attorneys that know full well, this is the most recent ruling. But it is odds with probably 20 or 30 years worth of decisions by the West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals. And this ruling as it exists now in the ICA is not final when you can still be appealed to West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals. And what I do, how it changes a little bit, I see if I can differentiate it from what the ICA may be. I mean, I'm talking about in good faith and legally, what that ICA misunderstanding may be, and then try to realign it with the other precedents. So it's almost like a mutation of a decision, or the exercise of that decision.
I want to broaden out just a bit beyond family law, because there are other matters. One of the questions that came up last session, there was a lot of speeches on the floor of both houses, I believe. It was in committee. This idea, we elect judges nonpartisanly in West Virginia. Some folks want to return to partisan elections. Where do you stand on that issue?
Well, that's the law as it exists right now, is nonpartisan. But let's be realistic about it. Everybody knows how every statewide judicial candidate is registered. There's no question about that. All you have to do is call up the county that they live in, and they know. In theory, it's a beautiful concept. It probably should be even expanded to the legislature or the governors. But in working reality, I think it just comes down to just really bipartisanism with a nice veneer of respectability.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think what I heard you say is it really doesn't matter because people know anyway. Is that a fair?
That's pretty much it. They know anyway. It's a good concept to pay a lot of lip service to, but it's not how it really works. The way things is.
Talking to Jim Douglas. He is a veteran family law judge seeking a seat on West Virginia's Intermediate Court of Appeals. Last October, you raised some eyebrows because you made a point to say, you went on the record and said,
yes,
unless and until I am overruled, reversed, remanded, or directed otherwise by a legitimate superior legal authority, I fully intend to require, as of this date, that all proposed parenting plans coming before me for approval include mandatory provisions for application to age-appropriate children that conforms to West Virginia Code in its entirety. You were talking about vaccinations. You would require vaccinations.
No, I'm going to require mandatory school vaccinations, under West Virginia Code 16-3-4, and that's still my position.
What compelled you to put that statement out?
I felt that there was, a disappropriate amount of attention being paid to what I call a populist issue. That was, some politicians were saying, this is popular in certain segments of our society, so I'm going to capitalize on it. And then I thought Governor Morrissey was given much undue, to me, it was undue credit to that position at the expense of children. I grew up in the 50s, late 50s, early 60s, and I still remember kids that had braces on their feet and on their legs. Yes, and I remember standing in line at Clay County High School in the early 60s getting these little pink sugar cubes. And we've grown to the point, I think, we should always follow the science, in my opinion, but we've grown to the point that we don't think we're susceptible to getting these diseases anymore, that they're eradicated and that our natural immunities are going to take over. That's not what the science says. And I'm going to protect the kids in Kanawha County anyway. I mean, I'm only one of 5 family court judges, and I've been attacked for that position on social media, so my significant other tells me I don't have a social media account. Purposely.
Better be careful, Judge. We got a history here getting judges in trouble. I'm just saying.
Well,
hashtag free acres.
Well, let me say one other thing, if I can, TJ. Everything I'm saying is as a candidate,
okay,
or as somebody that has a legal background. So it's not how I would rule on a case, because I still have to say, for the benefit of everybody out there that could say something about this, I always rule on the evidence on something comes in front of me, and I'm not prejudged. I'm talking about as a citizen and as a candidate. I believe in mandatory school vaccinations, and I will continue to enforce that until told otherwise.
One thing I'm always curious about with judicial candidates, why'd you go to law school? Why'd you want to be a lawyer? Why'd you want to be a judge?
Well, I got tired of dealing with judges as a practitioner. Being the judge, I always felt like in family law, I knew how it was. I pride myself, it's not vanity. I pride myself in knowing that subject matter. And a lot of times you see people became judges because they couldn't make it as lawyers, or political appointments. And they got those positions and they started to learn on the job. And I thought I owe it to the public, but I also wanted to do it. I wanted to be able to practice the way, or I guess practice being judged the way that the law should be applied rather than the fact of how it was being applied. And so that's why I did it.
Jim Douglas running for West Virginia Intermediate Court of Appeals. About 30 seconds here, Jim. Why should voters support you?
Because I have absolutely no contact whatsoever with data centers. I have no contact with lawyers like Speaker Hanshaw that has contacts with data centers. I lament the loss as a candidate of local control under House Bill 4983 and the lack of transparency. I've got to say I'm very liberal when it comes to that issue, but local control is everything. People ought to be able to have that. So that's why they ought to consider me. I don't have those contacts. I am, I fear sometimes that West Virginia is for sale. I don't want that to happen in my lifetime. I mean, I go back to, whenever Kennedy was president and knowing those things, and I just lament how it's changed. It seems money is such an issue now, and it shouldn't be.
Jim Douglas running for West Virginia Intermediate Court of Appeals. Of course, Election Day, May 12th. Early voting runs through Saturday. Thanks for stopping by, Jim. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Be careful. Thank you, TJ.
Coming up, some of your texts, 304-TALK-304. And Governor Morrisey was asked about his endorsements for candidates during a media event yesterday. We'll get to those comments next. At WVU Medicine Heart and Vascular Institute, excellence is not just a promise, it's proven. Our Advanced Heart Surgeon program ranks among the top 3% in the nation by the Society for Thoracic Surgeons and was named a high-performing hospital by U.S. News & World Report with multiple areas of distinction. In medicine, we lead with world-class outcomes and groundbreaking procedures. Visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
When it's your family, your kids, your home, your parenting time, you want somebody on the Court of Appeals who lives and breathes family law. Even if you don't win your case, you still should feel that you've been heard. I'm Jim Douglas. I'm a family court judge, and I'm asking you to put real family court experience on the Court of Appeals for your future.
Paid for by the Committee for Family Law Experience for ICA. Susan Shepard, Chair.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Everywhere you look, people are supporting Shelley Moore Capito for Senate. President Trump has endorsed her. So has West Virginians for Life. The National Shooting Sports Foundation named her Legislator of the Year, and she's backed by workers, small business owners, and Republicans across the Mountain State. Now it's your turn. Vote early through May 9th or on Election Day, May 12th.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The region's largest restoration firm, responding from 5 locations. When disaster strikes your home or business, call Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia, going to join us at the top of the hour. Yesterday, Governor Morrissey had a couple of events. He was in Morgantown and then held a ceremonial bill signing yesterday at the Capitol as well. Friend of the show and Ogden newspaper columnist and Capitol reporter Stephen Allen Adams was there. He asked Morrissey if he was concerned about the endorsements that he has made for the West Virginia Senate and House of Delegates could backfire and impact his agenda in the future legislative sessions. Morrissey responded, said, "I'm putting West Virginia first."
The most important thing that I'm worrying about
is how we lift West Virginia up, how we improve our standard of living, how we drive educational attainment forward, how we have that economic success that we've been all supposedly fighting for. I think we need to do better.
Morrissey said he was here to make West Virginia better. That means changing the legislature.
We have to do this based on policy, based upon what's best for the state. And that's why you see me engaging. I want our state to thrive, and I am not ever going to back down to let people do it.
He says he can speak out just like others are.
I am very comfortable exercising my First Amendment rights the same way that Senator Capito does, the same way that Senator Tom Tacubo does, the same way that they are raising significant monies to help out their cause. I want to make sure I fight for West Virginia's future, and I am not going to get deterred on that.
He was asked specifically about the race in the House of Delegates in Wood County, where the House Finance Committee Chairman Vernon Criss is running for re-election, and Governor Morrissey said, well, Criss needs replaced.
It's no secret of the fact that we had some pieces of legislation killed in the House Finance Committee. I don't think that's good for the state of West Virginia. We can do much better in the House Finance Committee. And there are a lot of people that say, well, why are you doing this? Because we cannot settle for second best.
Governor Morrissey yesterday during a media event in Charleston, ceremonial bill signing. We've only got about a minute, TJ, but the governor not backing away from the endorsements. In fact, doubling down on them with less than a week to go until Election Day.
Good. Own it. You did it. Own it. No fault with that. The whole idea about First Amendment, come on. The First Amendment protects you from government intervention. The government's not stopping anybody from saying anything. Bringing Capito Tacubo in it, who started it, Dave? Who threw the first punch? Is that not important?
I believe the governor was the first to release the endorsement. And look, okay. I don't think anybody's had a problem with the actual act of the endorsements.
No.
You can do that. Other governors have done that, some less publicly than others, but hey, to each his own. Nobody's had a problem with that. The part that keeps coming up, or the part of all of this that keeps getting brought up to me is, one, the out-of-state money through the political action committees, and two, the lack, we'll put it like this, TJ, the lack of context of some of the claims that are being made about these candidates.
The cavalier relationship with the truth?
Cavalier relationship with the truth. We'll talk to Jason Huffman about that and much more. He'll join us coming up top of the hour. Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia, going to join us at 11:06. Got to take a break, wrap up hour number one. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
For 30 years, Shelley Moore Capito has been in elected office. 30 years, and what do we have to show for it? More spending and D.C. dysfunction, and West Virginia left behind. Shelley Moore Capito is a career politician. I'm Tom Willis, a Green Beret, state senator, and a West Virginia business owner. I've served our state and this great country, and I'm ready to continue to serve West Virginia. Shelley answers to Washington insiders. I'll answer to you. West Virginia, it's time for a change. Early voting is happening now, and Election Day is May 12th. I'm Tom Willis, and I'm asking for your vote. I'm Tom Willis, and I approve this message, paid for by Tom Willis Victory.
Kids deserve care that's as specialized as they are. At WVU Medicine Golisano Children's Pediatric Urology, we treat everything from urinary tract issues and kidney problems to bladder and genital conditions with expertise and compassion. Our team uses advanced techniques designed for growing bodies so your child gets the best care possible. Call 855-WVU-CARE to schedule an evaluation or visit WVUkids.com.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
It's time, West Virginia. This is Alexander Gasserud, your true conservative Republican candidate for the United States Senate to replace Senator Capito on May 12, 2026. It's time we send the next generation to fight for West Virginians and America like you have never been fought for before. It's time to send the next generation of spending border and foreign policy hawk. It's time to fix our water and connect you to the internet. It's time to send a true conservative. It's time, West Virginia, to send me, Alexander Gasserud, to the United States Senate.
Paid for by Alex for West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The W Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and looking at some gradual clearing today. A few showers off to the east early this morning, but heading into a little bit drier weather for the end of the week. Warmer sunshine on Friday. Rain chances do return this weekend. Not a washout, but we will have some showers and then a little more rain as we head into the middle part of next week. So again, we do have some cloud cover, a couple of sprinkles or light rain showers off to the east today. And as we head through the afternoon, again, those skies will continue to clear out. We are dealing with some slightly cooler air, but that cooler air will be modifying. And as we approach this upcoming weekend, temperatures will be warming up a little bit more. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home and warming up in Chicago, 75 degrees on Saturday. That'll be some of the warmer weather that we experience as we get closer to the weekend. Saturday again, though, the showers will return, maybe some 1/4 to 1/3 inch total amounts from Panhandle to Panhandle. And on Thursday today, our temperatures again will be a little on the cooler side into the 50s and 60s. Not quite as much rain off to the east on Saturday. Of course, the temperatures today will be cooler, as I mentioned. Winchester at 66, Moorfield at 67, Davis at 54. And again, the shower chances really diminishing for the day Thursday, but returning a little more on Saturday. Pretty light amounts overall. Sutton, 63 on Thursday, Ripley, 65. Parkersburg at 63 degrees, and Franklin at 65. Again, some showers early. Things will be drying out, though, as we head into our Thursday afternoon and Friday. Madison, 65. Logan, 64. Here's our extended forecast. Overall, a drier end of the week. Warmer on Friday. Warmer on Saturday and Sunday. But again, we will have some spotty showers as well.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Salango Law.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Hour number 2 of MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Hope you're having a great day so far. Almost halfway through it. Look on the bright side. 800-765-TALK's the phone number. 800-765-8255. The text line is 304-TALK-304. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk to Steve Wendelin. He is running for the Democrat nomination for United States House of Representatives in the 2nd District. That's the northern half of West Virginia. He'll join us coming up bottom of the hour. I will get to the text line. We've neglected it a little bit. Phones as well. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, and 304-TALK-304. Need to tell you that jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $47 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $215 million. So go ahead, play today. Of course, TJ Meadows anchors coverage from the Charleston studios, where he'll be election night, by the way. TJ will be part of our election night coverage. Brad, Jeff, Greg Hunter will be around. Hoppy, rumor is, will be lurking about the studio complex somewhere. That comes up election night, 7 to midnight. Morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. Hey, I filled up yesterday very quickly. $4.49 for the low grade in the Greater Tays Metroplex. $4.89 for the mid grade. The premium unleaded $5.29, Dave.
Ooh. It is, what was it? I filled up at home $4.49. I think it's $4.49 in Morgantown. Somebody can check me on that. I haven't filled up in town here in a while. I know I was up in PA yesterday, across the state line, $4.99. They are right on the edge right there. Of course, they pay. I mean, their gas tax is astronomical up on that side of the border, but nonetheless.
Well, don't we have the summer blend coming on too? So
Whatever that means.
I mean,
yeah.
seriously, it changes the price. I don't pretend to understand it, but so that's coming as well. So it's not going to go down, folks. It won't go down as quick as it went up. I'll tell you that.
I saw jet fuel prices spiking as well in the last couple of days.
Diesel was like $5.69 a gallon.
I saw a guy fill up on diesel yesterday, or 2 days ago. He was filling up his 2500 HD. I just looked at him and went, "How's it going?" He goes, "Not good." That's all he said. Not good.
Poor guy.
Not good. All right, 304 Talk 304 is the text line. Joining us in studio this morning, the Charleston studios this morning, is Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia. Get his take on primary election season. Morning, Jason.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad you could come in. So what do you make going into this primary season? Everybody's talking about obviously the Republican primary is getting all the attention, the contested races. There's some contention in these contested races. What do you make of all this as a political observer, first of all?
Well, having been watching elections in West Virginia for, the last 12, 13 years, I think that the one striking thing to me is, listen, competition's good. It's a good thing. When politicians get complacent, they become a little arrogant. They start thinking, man, this seat belongs to me. And that's the wrong attitude to have, because it belongs to the people. And you have to earn their trust by your voting record to be in that seat. I think some of them forget that. It's been quite striking to see that level of kind of hubris from some of these incumbent lawmakers. So I think it's a great thing when you have competition in an election cycle.
Let's talk about the money. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. I don't know if it's the elephant, but we're tracking 7 PACs, including yours. As of close yesterday, and you have to input all these numbers manually, which I hate, unfortunately, but I'm just shy of $5 million. So we'll round and call it $5 million. Here's the thing. Citizens United, the court's been clear, money speech. Spend it. That's fine. Why not know where it's coming from? I give Jeff Yass credit. He puts his name on it. That's not the case with all of this money. Should we know where it's coming from?
Well, I mean, I think let's do a little history lesson quickly.
Let's go.
250 years ago, a group of men got together and decided to found this nation. And many of the political writings that they did were done under pen names. And that's because they were afraid of trying to avoid retaliation from the King of England. And there are many citizens that give to a lot of charitable causes today for similar reasons. They don't want to face, particularly in an environment in which there is a tremendous amount of tragic political violence, folks want to be in a position where they can privately give to the causes that they believe in. Listen, Americans for Prosperity is the nation's preeminent, largest grassroots advocacy organization on the center right. We make no bones about that. We have chapters all across the country. We have activists in all states. And I've been fortunate enough as a lifelong West Virginian to run the one that is here for the last decade. But free speech isn't free. You got to get on the airwaves. You guys sell radio ads here, you know that. And to get a message out, it takes money. And I just look at it like the competition of ideas, where, at least from our perspective, what we're trying to inform voters about is where lawmakers stood on the issues that are critical to them. Listen, if you look at this legislative session, the last two really, you have conservative, quote unquote, lawmakers who are backsliding on first principles. They're not willing to cut taxes in a fiscally responsible way. They are doing things like attacking school choice, siding with the healthcare cartels and monopolies over bringing competition into that system by repealing CON laws like President Trump has asked. And so I think it's good for people to understand where lawmakers stood on these core issues before they head to the polls. And that's what we're endeavoring to do, while also supporting our policy champions.
Talking to Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia. I agree with you, Jason. Competition's good, whether you're in the House of Delegates or you're the starting left tackle. If you don't feel like there's anybody behind you to push you, you can get complacent. Totally agree with you on that point. We have used the term cavalier relationship with the truth in pointing out what these voting records are. Do you believe that there's been a cavalier relationship with the truth? Because at very least, some of these statements lack context, Jason. I believe some of these statements lack a lot of context.
Well, certainly I know in our advertising there hasn't been any lack of context. We cite everything that we're talking about. It all has a rational policy nexus, a very firm one that's demonstrated, and we don't engage in ad hoc kind of personal attacks. Like, we want to be in a position where we're talking about the issues because we're a policy-based organization. Our ultimate outcome is to see policies enacted that transform the state into a better place to live, work, and raise a family. So we'd like to keep it on the topic of policy. I know that there are some groups out there that don't do that. And quite frankly, I mean, I think it diminishes the level of decorum that we could have in our politics. But at the same time, if politicians are upset that voters are learning about their voting record, perhaps they should have voted a different way.
But what about omission? And I'm not attacking your organization, and I'm hesitant to use an example because I don't want to link your organization with an example. I don't think that would be prudent. But I do think there are instances where there have been votes in the legislature where the nuance of why someone voted no is not spelled out in these arguments. It's not a straight yes or no. It's I do not support boys playing in girls' sports, but here is something to consider relative of, is it our place to regulate college sports or not? People can take that example for what they want. In my mind, these mailers that have, I saw one this morning that said Team Trump versus tranny. Come on. And that's the biggest thing of the picture. That doesn't help anybody. If you have an argument and you want to express that nuance and you say, well, this candidate, yeah, that's what they did, but that's not right. They should have went all the way. Completely fair. But I don't see that in the public discourse. And that really bothers me.
Yeah, I think to some extent, like, there are ads out there that, I personally disagree with.
Yeah.
I think they lower the decorum. But at the end of the day, I think it's a little paternalistic to look at voters and think that they can't handle that. Right. I think that voters see through the bogus stuff. They see through the wool being tried to pull over their eyes. And I have a lot of trust in voters in West Virginia. And frankly, that's why I think this election cycle was going to be a referendum on politicians that didn't live up to those first principles, because Republican primary voters did not send a supermajority to Charleston to see them backslide on some of these core issues that are important to Republican primary voters. Listen, it was the fact that the standard playbook for running an election in West Virginia was run as far to the right as you possibly can, outcompete the other guy, and you'll probably win. That was before the primary was closed, and now we have a closed primary. And so I think that's doubly true. And again, I think a lot of the hubris from some of these lawmakers, you look at a person like Vernon Criss or Scott Heckert, they think that seat belongs to them. And their communications to folks, whether it's subliminally
Back that
or
up.
not.
Why do you think that they think it belongs to them?
Well, because they are in a position where they're not really competing for the seat. They are in a position where I think what I read into their reaction to being attacked is that this is my seat and it belongs to me. They don't want to compete in that free market of ideas. I think that's the wrong approach, and I think that will be borne out on Election Day.
Talking to Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia. Jason, can you pull the curtain back? You don't have to reveal everything, but I'm just curious, the process your organization goes through when you're looking at the candidates and you're evaluating them, who you're going to support, who you're going to endorse. And you don't have to use anybody in particular specific, but just the process by which you make those determinations. How do you go about that?
Sure. So we have two factors that we look at. One, is there a bona fide policy champion in that race? And two, can we have an impact? And I think that in terms of the vetting, I mean, we've set a really high bar for the candidates that we endorse on the issues that we care about. And so some of those issues are weighted more heavily than others, obviously. We have the gold standard for educational freedom in the nation with the Hope Scholarship. The folks like Clay Riley and Vernon Criss that originated a bill out of the House Finance Committee that we believe would have kicked thousands of kids out of school choice, that's weighted pretty heavily, obviously, when we consider our endorsements. And so that's why we're opposing those gentlemen's incumbency. With principled policy champions who, by the way, have been thoroughly vetted themselves and meet the muster of what we consider to be principled policy thought.
Why do you think that would have kicked people out to cap the cost? I mean, I've talked to the private schools. No private school had a problem with that. They were fine with it.
It's about the 3% inflation rate every year on average. Eventually would have priced
We don't do
people
that
out.
now in the budget, though.
It would have eventually priced people out of being able to leverage the Hope Scholarship from a practical standpoint. It also got rid of a lot of flexibility in terms of what they could use it for, tutoring, et cetera. And, there were standardized testing requirements in there that essentially would have automatically kicked out every special needs student. So we just thought it was obviously we weren't stakeholders at the table brought in to discuss this, and that's probably a bill that should have gone through House Ed instead of House Finance. But listen, when you see things like that, there's been, some criticism of Governor Morrissey, obviously, engaging in politics. I can tell you it's the least surprising thing I've ever seen to see a red state governor engage in the election at the ballot box to essentially nail down a governing majority that will work with him. At every step of the way, folks have been, some key individuals in the House have been taking shots at Governor Morrissey, I think some of which are unbecoming of their office because they're of a personal nature. It's fine to have a respectful policy disagreement, but some of these folks made it personal. And, you look across the country in states like Texas, for instance, Greg Abbott went out and primaried about 30 people in his own party so that they could pass their school choice bill. The same thing's playing out in West Virginia to defend our school choice bill.
I see this as a referendum on Morrissey. You either like him or you don't. If you like him, you vote for his people. If you don't, you don't.
Well, if I'm looking at the handicapping of the races, I think you're right, and I think we're going to win.
What gives you that? What gives you that confidence? What do you know, Jason? What do you know behind the scenes, buddy?
Well, what I know is what I hear from voters. I mean, listen, we've knocked on over 30,000 doors in this election across various seats. And the data that we have coming in the door tells me that, one, people care deeply about school choice. Two, they care deeply that some of these lawmakers balked at the idea of returning dollars to taxpayers in the form of tax cuts. And three, they don't want unelected bureaucrats to veto healthcare options coming into their community through CON laws. These are things that are salient issues among Republican primary voters. And, regardless of what Tom Takubo and Greg Thomas and that guy from Wheeling think, I think they're on the wrong page.
Well, you got to fix healthcare before. Here's the problem. Healthcare is never going to be a free market. As long as Medicaid, Medicare are paying below market rate, you got to fix that before you fix anything else.
Well,
it's never a free market.
I disagree. I think
How is that a free market, though?
Well, I'm not saying that the healthcare is a free market, but what we can do to get toward the right side of the ledger on being a freer market in healthcare and having a personal option for patients where they can shop around is to let people come into the state without incumbent providers vetoing them. And, listen, Tom Takuba works for WVLY Medicine, right? It's no surprise to me that he recruited several doctors in this race that are beholden to those hospital cartels. So I just look at that. And by the way, we're not involved in Tom Takubo's race. I don't know why he was over here catching strays from Tom when he was on the show before. But in any event, I just look at a state Senate caucus that is very conservative. I see a backbench moderate trying to get the gavel for himself. And I think that's what the voters see as well. And I think they're going to reject that attempt.
He's Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia. Again, primary election day is May 12th. Early voting runs through Saturday. Jason, appreciate you stopping by. We'll see how it all plays out the next few days, buddy.
We will, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Jason Huffman, Americans for Prosperity, West Virginia. Take a break. Get to some text. Bob has been very patiently waiting on hold. We'll get to his call as well. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, 304-TALK, 304. This is Talkline from the Encove Insurance Studios.
Hi, this is Thornton Cooper. I'm a native and resident of West Virginia, a proud Democrat, and a candidate for the United States Senate. My priorities are 1, to raise the basic federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, 2, to expand health care to Medicare for all, and 3, to end Trump's war on Iran. To learn more, visit ThorntonCooper.com, and please vote for Cooper for Senate. I approve this message. Paid for by Cooper for Senate.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
Everywhere you look, people are supporting Shelley Moore Capito for Senate. President Trump has endorsed her. So has West Virginians for Life. The National Shooting Sports Foundation named her Legislator of the Year. And she's backed by workers, small business owners, and Republicans across the Mountain State. Now it's your turn. Vote early through May 9th or on Election Day, May 12th.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Welcome back, class of 2011. Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
I promised we'd get to the phones. Bob has been very patiently waiting, and I appreciate that and respect that. So, Bob in Charleston, what's on your mind, Bob?
I've heard a couple of times on the news already this morning that people are estimating that as much as $5.4 million from out of state has come in to support Morrissey's candidates. And I'm just wondering, I don't know whether there would be a way to find out or not, but I am just wondering if it's possible that some of that money is from big pharma companies that his wife has lobbied for in Washington.
Hey, Bob, appreciate the call. TJ, you've been keeping a close track. What kind of insight can you offer us here?
It depends on what PAC, Bob, and it depends on how they're set up. If these PACs are 501c4s, they typically do not tell you where the money came from. So whoever gave them the money, their name is obscured. Now, there are some givers, like Jeff Yass. He's given a lot of money. I think, Dave, $500,000, maybe a little more than that, puts his name on it. So really what you have to do, you have to go look at the PAC, look at Sugar Maple, look at Make Liberty Win, look at AFP, look at the West Virginia Chamber, look at Mountaineer Freedom Alliance. And you can make your own determination out of the data, but I can tell you we're approaching $5 million. And some of the money is truly dark. You will never find out where it came from.
Hey, Bob, appreciate the phone call. Hope that helps out a little bit. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. You can give us a call or shoot us a text at 304-TALK-304. Texter says, have been a Republican for 40 years, elected as such, Tea Party member, and championing for turning the state red. The GOP convinced me to register as independent. Listening to candidates, especially Republicans, use the term Constitution while supporting child care, state and federal minimum wage, etc. It's obvious they are conflating Constitution with Communist Manifesto. Pick is worth 1,000 words, and they sends on a picture as well. Dave and TJ, how about this for a cavalier relationship with the truth? When the late David McKinley was defeated, I voted for him because one of the mailers I received basically called him a stooge of the Russians and pictured him with a hammer and sickle flag in the background. Excuse me, but the Russian flag was never a hammer and sickle. That was the old Soviet Union, which at the time no longer existed. Someone did not do their homework, says the texter. I'll tell you this. There are several of the mailers that AI must have created because they're not quite right. Now, that was a couple of years ago, obviously, but some of the mailers, I don't know about you, TJ, but some of the ones I've seen, I go, I don't know if you quite got that one right or not.
Well, the sad reality is when you are cavalier with the truth, no one cares if you're wrong in the imagery. I mean, it's all part of it, right? It's so easy to be cavalier because with AI, I can make a mailer. I have no graphic design ability whatsoever.
None at all.
I can make a mailer in 5 seconds?
And look, we use the term cavalier with the truth, cavalier relationship. It doesn't mean you're outright lying.
No.
But that lack of context of, well, this candidate opposed an income tax cut. True. But, ... And there's a lot more to it than that. But you can squeeze that on there in that little mailer, and that's all that gets through. It lacks
if you're
context.
not getting the why, ask yourself why you're not getting the why in these mailers.
This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and looking at some gradual clearing today. A few showers off to the east early this morning, but heading into a little bit drier weather for the end of the week. Warmer sunshine on Friday. Rain chances do return this weekend. Not a washout, but we will have some showers and then a little more rain as we head into the middle part of next week. So again, we do have some cloud cover, a couple of sprinkles or light rain showers off to the east today. And as we head through the afternoon, again, those skies will continue to clear out. We are dealing with some slightly cooler air, but that cooler air will be modifying. And as we approach this upcoming weekend, temperatures will be warming up a little bit more. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home and warming up in Chicago, 75 degrees on Saturday. That'll be some of the warmer weather that we experience as we get closer to the weekend. Saturday again, though, the showers will return, maybe some 1/4 to 1/3 inch total amounts from panhandle to panhandle. And on Thursday today, our temperatures again will be a little on the cooler side into the 50s and 60s. Not quite as much rain off to the east on Saturday. Of course, the temperatures today will be cooler, as I mentioned. Winchester at 66, Moorfield at 67, Davis at 54. And again, the shower chance is really diminishing for the day Thursday, but returning a little more on Saturday. Pretty light amounts overall. Sutton, 63 on Thursday, Ripley, 65. Parkersburg at 63 degrees, and Franklin at 65. Again, some showers early. Things will be drying out, though, as we head into our Thursday afternoon and Friday. Madison, 65. Logan, 64. Here's our extended forecast. Overall, a drier end of the week. Warmer on Friday. Warmer on Saturday and Sunday. But again, we will have some spotty showers as well.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Salango Law.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
To Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
.304 Talk 304. Got a ton of text. We'll try to get to as many of those as possible in the next segment. Businesses across West Virginia rely on CityNet for secure, high-performing networks and advanced cybersecurity solutions, built, owned, and supported right here at home. Visit citynet.net. Remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. Dave Wilson here in Morgantown, TJ Meadows down in Charleston. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning is Stephen Wendelin. He is running for the United States House of Representatives in District 2. That's the northern half of the state. He's a Democrat for Congress, and he joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Stephen, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Let me give you a little bit more of an intro. Retired Navy commander, combat veteran, was a congressional candidate and running as a moderate reformer, according to your description. What is a moderate reformer, Stephen?
You know, I am constantly in following. I used to shy away from the term progressive, and I'm now kind of embracing it a whole lot more. Reformer, as in the sense of kind of like Teddy Roosevelt reforming. Basically, we need to, one, enforce the laws that are there, and two, we need to also simplify a lot of these codes, because with the loopholes and everything else, people, being people, get away with what they can get away with. And so, you know, when I say reform, I mean reforming the tax code, reforming the immigration laws, things of that nature, to simplify the process, because they're so complex now. No one can understand it. You have to hire, you know, legions of attorneys to get through anything. And we have shackled ourselves with a bureaucracy that's not sustainable.
Stephen, first off, thanks for your service. Very much appreciate it. You're talking about simplification. I'm with you. Flat tax? You for a flat tax? Everybody pays 10%. Would that work?
Again, I've become more progressive as I've gotten older. Flat tax, I used to be a big fan of it. And no, I think the progressive tax code is a good one if it's enforced fairly and enforced equally. And it's not right now. There are so many loopholes, and the very wealthy can afford to use those loopholes, where guys like you and me, we can't. And so the tax burden is not fair. So if a progressive tax rate is the way to do it, that's fine. But again, we need to eliminate the loopholes in the system. Oh, well, that was
never happened
dramatic.
Before. Yes, it was.
That was dramatic. Okay, well, you know what? As long as I don't move, I'm fine.
Stephen Wendelin joining us. For those on radio, the background just came tumbling down.
And thus ended his candidacy for the U.S. House of Representatives.
Stephen,
but it would have made for a great viral video.
Well, we can make that happen, Stephen. We can make that happen. Stephen Wendelin joining us, Democrat running for Congress, seeking the party's nomination. You were the party nominee in 2024. What did you learn from that experience that you're applying this time around?
Oh, a whole lot of things. One, I am sincere in this. A uncontested primary is not a good thing. Primaries are where democracy actually happens. It's where we get to actually choose who's going to be on the ballot in November. So that's one. The other thing, too, is primaries make for much better candidates. I've certainly had to work a whole lot harder this time. I clock in between 700 and 800 miles a week driving across the district because it is so large. And the other part of it, too, is you don't get a whole lot of love from the media. Uncontested primaries, it's like, why are we going to talk to you? Why is it interesting? Whereas a contested primary, it is healthy, it's democracy. But I'll tell you, I've had to work my backside off. And I think it's made me a better candidate.
You talk about balancing the budget. Again, sensible. That would take care of deficits. It would at least get us out of deficit year after year. Don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. With that said, we're $39 trillion in debt. One of the questions I've asked everyone that has come on this show, including you, will be, what do we do to get the actual debt under control? It would seem we have to cut one of the big three. That's either Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, or defense. What do you want to do if you get to Washington?
All right. So first off, a balanced budget isn't an option. It's just not. You can't run your household without a balanced budget. I can't. Why do we let the government deficit spend like this? And oh, by the way, you missed one. Tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. All right. So you missed one of the things that we can cut. That's the first one we go against, going back to, hey, simplify and make our tax code fair again. The next thing is, I can say this with all kinds of authority. I spent 39 years in uniform. The defense budget, and I'm not talking about cutting services for our men and women in uniform. I'm not even talking about cutting the numbers. I'm talking about cutting out the waste. We have so many programs. The Littoral Combat Ship in the Navy is a classic one. The Navy said we need a replacement for the frigate. It's very sensible. It needs to do the following things. And we went out to 2 different shipbuilders, and they said, and we said, build your best ship to meet these requirements. Then comes time to down select, at which point Congress said, no, you have to buy both. So now we have 2 training pipelines and we have 2 logistics pipelines for one mission set. We just doubled the cost, and it's inefficient. The AAAV, which is how we were trying to get Marines ashore from ship, we put all these requirements on it that just defy physics. We spent $4 billion in this, in developing it, and the Marine Corps ended up with 0 AAAVs. General Mattis, when he became Secretary of Defense, said, this is insane, and cut the program. So things like that, that's where we need to get rid of it. The fact that the government incurs all the risk for research and development is insane. No other corporation, no other business operates like that. So we need to do that. The other thing I like to talk about too is I am a bit of a numbers guy. We have more Department of the Navy civil servants than we have active duty Marines. I'm not saying that we cut civil servants. The U.S. government, we have about 2 million civil servants for the size of our nation. That's probably about right. Do they all need to be in the Department of Defense? No. Let's put them in Health and Human Services. Let's put them in the EPA. Let's put them places where they can be a value add back to the American people, and not just adding layers and layers of bureaucracy within the military. So there's lots of places to cut.
Stephen Wendelin is joining us, running for the Democrat Party nomination for U.S. House of Representatives in the 2nd District. You said no cuts to Medicaid. You want to protect Medicaid. So what policy would you push to protect Medicaid for West Virginians?
Well, how about Medicare for all? So I've been in socialized medicine my entire adult life. I'm in the military. I'm still grateful that I'm still eligible for that service. I am still in TRICARE. And here's a fun fact. I never really thought about medical benefits because I never had to. Received top care and never had to pay a penny. My wife right now is battling cancer. If we were out on the public system right now, if we had private insurance, 2 things would probably be happening. One, she'd be dead and I'd be bankrupt. The American people already pay more than anyone else in the world for healthcare, and we don't get a value out of it. So rather than dumping it into for-profit insurance companies and for-profit hospitals, we need to take care of this once and for all. And that's the big picture. Affordable Care Act was a Band-Aid. I don't think it was ever intended to be a long-term solution. Some good things came out of it, but it's not enough. And quite frankly, we're subsidizing health insurance with it. We need to go to a single payer system, period.
I want to talk about energy a bit, Stephen. Big topic here in the Mountain State, obviously, is data centers. The cost of energy. Many say, I've argued the same, that the permitting process is too rigorous. It's driving up the cost and the ability to build new plants, new generation, et cetera. Where do you fall with energy policy, and what would be your pursuits in Washington?
Well, there's a couple of questions you asked in there. The first one was data centers. One, I strongly believe that the local communities need to decide what goes into their community. It shouldn't be dictated by Washington. It should not be dictated by Charleston. And right now, Charleston is dictating, especially up in the Eastern Panhandle, saying, sorry, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the insight to tell the data centers, that you can't be in here. So we're going to take that away from you. That's one. Two, energy policy. The United States Navy operates nuclear power. We've done it safely for generations now. Quite frankly, nuclear fusion, vice nuclear fission, nuclear fusion is how the sun works. We are on the cusp of that. And why our nation is not investing in it like a moonshot is beyond me, because once we have that, energy no longer becomes an issue. In the meantime, we can bridge it with sustainables and with renewable resources, and also smaller nuclear reactors. I get it. 3 Mile Island, it scared the hell out of people. Chernobyl scared the hell out of people. You can do this safely on smaller scales. And we need to get off of our addiction to fossil fuels, period. I know that can get very emotional in West Virginia. I get it. Dad was in the coal mines. Grandpa was in the coal mines. I get it. That said, and we will always need coal, because without coal, you can't make steel. What I'm saying is we need to be smarter, and we need to stop making decisions off of either nostalgia or our emotions. And I know that's not particularly popular in West Virginia, but we need to be practical about it. So again, the solution is right there. Hopefully in our lifetimes, hopefully well before that, we do find a practical way of achieving nuclear fusion.
Stephen Wendelin, Democrat running for the party's nomination for U.S. House of Representatives in the 2nd District. Stephen, got about 30 seconds here. Why should voters support you coming up in the primary election?
In the primary, there's one reason. I am the guy that can beat Riley Moore. Riley has not been president since he's been elected. That's why he ran that first race. He doesn't show up in the district, and he promotes his own self-interest. For me, I am electable. I didn't lose to Riley the first time. I lost to voter apathy, and 26 is not 24, and voter apathy is no longer on the ballot.
He's Stephen Wendelin, Democrat running for Congress in District 2. Stephen, appreciate you stopping by, and glad we survived the fall of the background, buddy. Appreciate it.
I did, and I'll tell you, I think this is a good look for me.
Looks like you're on a beach somewhere. Got a little shade umbrella. You look
yeah,
good.
Exactly. On up at Trout Pond on my favorite Riviera, my beachfront in Trout Pond.
Stephen, we appreciate the time. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
We'll get to your text coming up. 304-TALK, 304, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Well, soon enough, it's going to be time to get out on Trout Pond, for instance. It may not feel like boat weather today, but it won't be long before it is. Get ready early with great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the entire inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
When it's your family, your kids, your home, your parenting time, you want somebody on the Court of Appeals who lives and breathes family law. Even if you don't win your case, you still should feel that you've been heard. I'm Jim Douglas. I'm a family court judge, and I'm asking you to put real family court experience on the Court of Appeals for your future.
Paid for by the Committee for Family Law Experience for ICA. Susan Shepard, Chair.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it. Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline. Keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304-TALK, 304 is the text line, 800-765-8255, the phone number. Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $47 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $215 million, so go ahead, play today. All right, let's get to some text. I promised we'd do it. Now is the time. Dave and TJ, I think the first place to start cutting government is Congress. We need a volunteer Congress of patriots that are willing to serve their country. Congress is one responsible entity that created the debts. Laws correcting this have to get passed and audit where the taxpayer money went. Do not vote for incumbents that voted to increase the debt, says the texter. 304 Talk 304. This one's too funny. I have to read it, TJ. Okay. Medicare for all. I can see TJ's capitalist Christianism making him steam out the ears. Also, the guy said remove tax cuts for the rich. Is he trying to give TJ a stroke? Has anyone called an ambulance? Don't stand in front of it when it comes through, though. Ouch. Are you okay? Your blood pressure's not up, is it? You're okay, aren't you?
I went out to get a cup of coffee, and Tracy said my face looked redder than normal.
Really?
So I was like, maybe I should take my blood pressure. Look, folks, I'm trying to get better and not take it all so, personally.
Texter says, yes, with an exclamation mark. I had this conversation with my 30-year Navy veteran dad. You've never paid for health care. You don't have a clue what it's like to be out there on the everyday economy needing medical care. He finally looked at me and said, wow, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. Pretty brave for a 94-year-old man to admit. 304 Talk 304. My power bill is going up while the CEO is getting millions in bonuses. Republicans think that's okay. Vote them all out of office, says the texter. 304 Talk 304. Hey, David, did I read this? Oh, I read that one already. That was about McKinley. 304 Talk 304. Let's be honest, Huffman is embellishing about the inside baseball the voters know. They don't see it the way he does. They just know they get bombarded with negative mail every day. 304 Talk 304. I take offense to Jason's term healthcare cartel. If anyone or anything acts like a cartel, it's AFP, says the texter. All right, got to take our final break. Back to wrap things up for Thursday. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Everywhere you look, people are supporting Shelley Moore Capito for Senate. President Trump has endorsed her. So has West Virginians for Life. The National Shooting Sports Foundation named her Legislator of the Year. And she's backed by workers, small business owners, and Republicans across the Mountain State. Now it's your turn. Vote early through May 9th or on Election Day, May 12th.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The WVLY Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done, for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Couple of more texts here. Many of you are giving me gas price updates. Texter says diesel fuel in the Mineral Wells area a few days ago was $6.25. Texter says $4.49 at Sheetz in Morgantown. Let me see. 304 Talk 304. Texter says, "No way! This clown just compared dark money and politics to the founding fathers using pen names. Jason is the worst guest this network has by a wide margin. But according to him, and that wonderful article by Amelia Nicely yesterday, Jason is apparently the ultimate arbiter of what Republicans can think," says the texter. Speaking of Amelia Nicely, she will join us on MetroNews Talkline tomorrow. We'll talk about that article where she took a look at some of the money that is coming in, where it's going and why it's going where it's going. Got all that? Good. We'll talk to you tomorrow. This is MetroNews Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.